Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Jamie Lyerly, and this is Turned On Tarot. I'm just going to give everybody a few minutes to hop into the room, and then we'll get started. So if you just want to use the chat box on your right-hand side and go ahead and say hello and where you're from, that would be amazing. It's going to be a small group today, but we're intending that this energy is for every person that shows up today and then everyone who shows up to watch the replay. So welcome, and we'll just be just a minute here. Let's say hello to Sandy. So hi, Sandy. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. So we'll just take a few moments here. I've already set the space up. Let's clear these real quick. Okay. Very good. So if we don't have a lot of people show up in the room today, then it will be a fun game to see, what comes up, and we'll just see what happens here. So this is my first time doing this actually via live stream versus the different other ways that I read tarot for people. So it's a fun game to bring everybody in. So let me just arrange this here. Awesome. So hi, Ashley. I got Ashley in the room. So that's awesome. So yeah, we'll just wait just another minute or so, and then I'll go ahead and get started. So if everybody wants to just drop in and close off any electronics or anything that you have that's going to distract you from just really being present here. Okay. And a deep breath too. Just being here now. Awesome. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started, and as other people pop into the room, we'll just let them come in, and we'll go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody again. This is Jamie Lyerly, and I'm so excited to have you here for my Turned On Tarot. This is the first time that I've done this via live stream. I usually do it via, I put a Facebook message up, and I actually read that, or I'll read people in person, and so or over the phone. And so it's really fun to take this new technology and actually do readings. So we'll see how this actually transmits. I could feel the bigness of this energy when I actually started the webinar, and also when I set it up, was just this idea that no matter who shows up today, like, this is for a group intention. It's a field of a group intention for anyone who watches this later, or anytime that, just everyone connecting in. So that's my favorite thing in the world, is being able to tap in to a group energy and actually spread it wide, so that each person that gets a reading or sees this later can actually feel it for themselves. So welcome, and welcome to everyone that's here now, and a welcome to everyone who will be here later. So just a little bit, the way that the show is going to go here is that I'll go ahead and just tell you a little bit. Tell you a little bit about myself, and then we will just talk a little bit about what actually I do here, and then we'll get to individual readings and the questions here that we have between each person. And we probably will do maybe a little bit of a group reading too, of kind of the energy for everyone who taps into this later. And then we have, and then I'll make an offer. So this isn't my, sorry, I'm messing with my hair here. All right, good. So, and I see already that Sandy's put her question in. So if you have a question that you want to go ahead and put into the field, and as we're setting intention and doing these parts, go ahead and put them in there. And then when I do the readings, we'll get right to your questions. So it'll just be a little bit on there. So, okay. So deep breath, and then let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I've been reading tarot since I was 16 years old. I got my first deck from a friend that was just like, hey, I think you might like these things. And I got them, and I was just obsessed with the imagery on there and just kind of the depth of them. And I've been having a kind of a love relationship with tarot ever since. I kind of put them away, and I find times where I'm more drawn to actually pulling them out. And then I had, within the last 3 years, 3 to 5 years, I've been studying with my teacher, Beatrix Quintana, who writes this amazing book called The Tarot, A Universal Language. You can see it here, and it's available on Amazon.com. And she is an amazing tarot reader and astrologer, astrology, intuitive astrologer, and and psychic. And so if you want to read tarot for yourself, that is by far the easiest and most accessible book that I know of, to be able to do that. So I offer that as kind of a gift to anybody that wants to be able to look at that, is to really, if you want to read your own tarot, that's the book for you. Okay. And so, yeah, I started doing these TurnedOn tarot readings about 2 years ago, where I realized that a lot of people they were drawn to the tarot, but they weren't sure why. And then they always, if they got a reverse card, they always thought it was negative, and they thought, oh, what am I going to do? This is just, and they were kind of feeling victim to the tarot. Which my version of it is that, like, the cards, especially if you get a reverse one, the reverse just means that you have some resistance, and so why not look at the resistance that you have and then work with it, and then so we make it actually to find the most like turned on version of this, so that we can not feel victim to the cards, or victim to our circumstances. We find the way to be able to find the right way to turn it around just for us, because it's all a personal reading for you. And so, and I use the traditional Rider-Waite tarot cards so that you can actually Google them and look them up yourself later if you want to be able to have more information. So, I'm the channel for this, but it's also like, what else are you getting? What messages are you getting that I haven't actually seen for you? So it's really there to actually empower you. That's why we do that. So that's a little bit about the TurnedOn Tarot and a little bit about me. So we're going to go ahead and just start the readings. So if you have a question, I already see Sandy's question, so it should be my first one here. Go ahead and pop it in the chat field. And then, since there's not that many people on today, that if we need a kind of a follow-up question around it to be able to make sure you get the right answer, or not the right, I say the right on the inside. It's like until you feel a ping, all right, I've gotten enough on that one. So we will do that. And if we don't have a lot of people today, then we might end a little early, but it's really just about allowing each intention to come in. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys exactly, since you're going to see me here, I'm going to show you how I do the reading. So we just drop in. We're going to go ahead and set a group intention before I call in the first person. So, and which is just setting the container. So I'm going to close my eyes, and you can feel free to close your eyes. You can watch me. And we just bring in, I've already brought in the guides from before, but we're going to bring them in again. Yeah, so every guide for me, guide, healer, and helper, for me and for the people who are in this field now and who are going to be in it later. Yes, there is no time, so we all come in together now. So just see everyone in a circle. And we put a protective container around us. Just making sure that it feels safe, knowing that everything that comes in right now is for the highest and best good. And knowing that this reading for you or for other people may touch something inside that wants to be touched. Okay, good. So feeling your own guides, your own helpers, your own support with you right now. And calling them forward, knowing you can call them forward anytime for yourself. Good. Good. So allowing that energy to weave together and seeing the people in the field that are here with you now and sending your best intentions towards them. Okay. And then allowing their best intentions to come into you. Receive from them. Excellent. Good. Knowing it's all just in your imagination. You don't have to do anything, you know, so it's just you being present. Okay. Awesome. So we keep this safe field. Yeah, keep this safe field here together, and we open up the container for questions. So when I do the readings, I actually invite your particular guides and your energy to come into my field for the minute. Okay, so it's very safe and very fun to be able to do it. So okay, awesome. So we're going to go ahead, and I've got my cards here, and we will just shuffle them up. We're going to call in Sandy's energy. And her question is, I'd like to ask if things are okay between him and I finally. He is my coworker, and I feel drawn to him since we crossed paths. Okay. So the question part of it is one of the most important things of the tarot. So the question, we're looking for a question that can pull up here. So Sandy, can you type in a little bit more about what exactly you're looking to know? Are you looking this? So it looks like a relationship reading here, but is there another? You know, what aspect are you looking to see about this person? And we'll just wait here for a minute because I know there's a bit of a delay. So. Okay. So if you can, Sandy, go ahead and type in a little bit more information into the reading. If not, then I will just pull a card for what you already said. Okay, calling in Sandy's energy. Okay, what does she need to know about her coworker? Just want to remain cordial with him. Okay. Okay, great. All right. I'm drawn to this card. Okay, so we pulled Temperance. It's a card. It's a major arcana card. Okay, it says, she said, I just want to remain cordial with him, even though there was some sort of attraction between us. Okay, so great. Thank you, Sandy. So a little more clarification that helps. So this is the card Temperance here. And let me see if I can. So Temperance is one of the major arcanas, and it's all about balance. Now you have an angel, and he's actually balancing between the two cups in between here, the emotions in between the two cups. And he also has, if you see there, he's got 1 foot on the earth and 1 foot in the water, which is basically the idea that you can be grounded on the earth, you know, into the material world, and also in touch with, you know, the emotions, the waters, the psychic energy in between that. And so what I see here on this card is that it's actually about, it's about balance and about really allowing yourself to feel, you know, like you said, feel the pull between that you have and the attraction that you have with this person. I'll put the card down here for a minute. Feel the pull and the attraction that you have between this person, but stay grounded in your center, knowing that this, you know, the way that this angel particularly works here is that, like, you know, he's balancing the emotions that he's having between here, but they're all contained within these cups. Now, when you see cups in general, it's about love and emotion and allowing that to be able to be held and contained. And so what I see between the two of that is that there's an actual, you're striving for a balance between having these emotions and having these feelings, and not really wanting them to, like, display everywhere, or, you know, and making sure that you feel really comfortable with that. And so the suggestion here is that if you do work with any guides or angels or helpers, to really call them in to feel so that you feel supported during this time, knowing that this has this has very little to do with him. It has to do with you're running this energy that you're not sure how to actually run, which is like this little bit of sexual attraction and this these emotions and these feelings. And so actually feeling into that and going, okay, this is not this is more energy than my body is used to. We use the word like tumescence, which is like you're holding more energy and it's unpotentiated energy and you're not sure what to do with it. So it feels like you can feel anxious, you can feel overwhelmed, and it's like the amount of tension that you can hold in your body, if you have this much energy and nowhere to really pour it into. So my suggestion to you is to really, like I said, call in your guides and angels, and really just kind of allow the balance, to be able to feel between yourself and the sky, and allow yourself to keep the foot, on the ground. Keep one foot on the ground and one foot in like what I consider the emotions and the water of what is like the pool of consciousness, which is not just you, but it's everyone around you and all the psychic energies. And it's like you're feeling the water energy, but you want to keep balance in it. And knowing that, when I look at the card here, I see the bright, right here, it goes right back in the distance, that over the bright sun over the mountain here, which is basically, if you walk the path of this like really grounded, present place of knowing your own emotions, staying grounded in them, and walking forward in this, you'll actually be able to start with a brand new day. And then it won't really make a difference exactly what's going on with your coworker, because he'll feel your grounded presence and you'll be able to feel it too. So you staying present and calling in your angels and helpers really feels like the right step for you on that one. And knowing that it's just temporary. And when you have anything come up while you're because this is a coworker, is someone that like you see on a regular basis, just call on your guide, just say, help me, help me, guides, help me be present here, and just breathe. And I would suggest really just taking some deep breaths, and knowing that you have everything, everything inside of you that you actually need for this to be able to be there. Because you wouldn't have pulled the Temperance card if you already weren't at the place of balance. You're at a place of balance that you haven't been at before. And so it's like the card is actually saying, yes, you're at a place of balance, and go ahead and move forward with that. Okay. So we take a deep breath. And I just see your comments on here saying you feel overwhelmed by him in the past, but now it's getting better. Good. Just keep forward with that feeling. And if you find that pinching coming, or that extra tumescence of like, oh, what do I do with all this energy or all these feelings? That's when you call in your helpers, or you like put it and pour it into, call a friend or something that like, where if you have a lot in you, give out in a way that feels really, really natural for you. So give out, and just like with the full intention that whoever's going to receive it is going to receive it as powerfully as you want to give it, and as powerfully as they can take it in. So it's like, allow your love to flow. That's one thing that people forget, is that when they have feelings or have something, emotions towards other people, they think, well, I have to pour it at that person. And that's actually not true. It's like it came from you. It can either come back to you, or you can pour it out to someone else. And so it's really empowering you to having your own energy and being able to pour it out into someone or something that can really receive it. So that's my reading for you. So good job on getting to the point of balance, and just knowing that, sometimes, just like in a yoga pose, is that like to be able to do a balance pose, or like a tree pose, so you have to fall sometimes, and all you do is don't get overwhelmed, oh, I fell here, you just pick your leg back up and do it again. So so that's where you're at. You're at the point of balance. And so knowing, when you're out of balance because you'll actually fall, and then you go, whoops, I fell, and now I do it again. So, okay. So that feels pretty complete for me, Sandy. If you have anything in the chat screen that you want to add in there, we can do that. If not, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Ashley. Okay, good, awesome. She feels complete. Okay, good. So we're going to go ahead and release Sandy's energy. Thank you for coming in. And you can stay on the reading and get the, help the readings for the other people too as well if you want to stay on, Sandy. I just mean I'm going to release your energy from my field. That's good. And we always leave everybody better than we came. So when you have your energy come back to you, you feel the what I consider like the delight of the fact of like, oh, my energy is all mine again. So gathering your own energy back up, just knowing that we just temporarily, invite your energy in so we can read, and then we send it back. Okay, awesome. So I've got Ashley here. So Ashley, would you like to read your question or put your question in the field? Yeah. And we've got Jen just popped on too. Hi, Jen. Welcome. Okay. And clear out the cards. Okay. So Ashley says, mine is also relationship. I just separated from my partner, and I'm also seeing someone. I have felt unsure about the separation, and I'm trying to get clear about what I really want to call in during this time of transition. What am I really wanting from a lover or partner? Okay, great. So we call in Ashley's energy and her guides and her helpers. All for the highest and best good. Good. So what does Ashley need to know around her desires around a partnership or a lover? Let's do that. Yeah, that's the right one on top. Okay. All right, so I picked the Six of Swords reversed. Now, when you have a reverse card here, a reverse card means that there's resistance to this. So let me show it to you right side up. So when the card is right side up, this is a card of moving away from troubled waters is what it is. So we have a woman and a child, and they're moving away from the trouble, the kind of choppy waters that are right here, into a much smoother sailing, and much smoother sailing. So now when you have the card reversed, when it's reversed like this, it's basically, you're resisting moving onto the next smoother part of your life. So when we see these little things, if you actually, turn it upside down, all the swords fall out and then the boat sinks, and so the swords inside the boat here. And so when you have those swords in there, the thing is that the swords are all about the mind, and they're also, kind of, how would I put it, like your troubles or the things that you like use to be able to keep yourself busy. The problems that we create. Sometimes we create problems because we have so much energy in our bodies and we haven't actually pointed them in a direction of our dreams, of the things that we want. And so we create problems. And so what one of my teachers says is the fact that, like, if you look around and you see nothing but problems around you, say, congratulations, I'm a creator. Look how much I've created. I wouldn't have been able to create this much crap around me if I wasn't a potent being. So what I want to say to you, Ashley, is congratulations, you are a potent being. You have created a lot of stuff around you. And so it's a really exciting place to be at, which is the fact of recognizing, wow, look how much I've created. And then really making a decision, the decision for you about, like, am I willing right now to move to smoother waters? Like, does it actually have to be this hard? And that's kind of a question of, like, am I, you know, if it doesn't say, does it have to be this hard? Another way of putting that is will I allow it to be easy? You know, will I allow myself to take myself? And what I see here is that, like, this is your woman and this is your little inner child, is what I see this one for you, which is basically like, am I going to allow myself? And this top part here, I see it as, rather than being a man that's going to take you away into a smoother water here, this is actually like, I see as like a guide, a very masculine, figure that that may or may not be in body. It could be like an angel or a helper or guide, but it's someone who can, or your own divine masculine, your own upright, the thing that actually allows you to be a solid force here, is the thing that's going to actually take you forward. You know, and so it's like, I know that you're a very feminine and kind of flowy being, which is beautiful, and you have a masculine inside of you who can do the structure, who can actually move forward in a way that actually feels really good. So if you have these, you know, if you allow that masculine part of you to come forward, knowing that it's not going to kill your feminine, the masculine part is actually going to hold your feminine and direct it. You know, it's like, you know, you've got all this huge amount of water, you know, on all this water in this being that you have, and you just need a hose. You need something that's going to like direct that potency, because other than that, then you're just a big lake with not a lot of, like, you're a big still lake, and people can feel you and they can kind of dive into who you are as a being, but you're but the energy that I'm seeing here is that, like, if you want to create something that you really want from a partnership or from a life in general, is you actually need that hose. You need something that's going to contain you, and it's going to point you in the right direction. So and so that's the masculine, and I see that from either, if you can find it in a partnership, you know, like an actual partner who can hold you and contain you and actually focus you, awesome. Then that's what I see, like, what am I really wanting from a partner? That's the, you know, for the question is, that's what you really want, is someone who can be that, you know, that flexible hose. I mean, the way you just think about it, a hose can actually move, and it can actually really point in the direction. I'm thinking of these, like, not a little tiny garden hose, because I'm sorry, that's not you, Ashley. You're not a garden hose. You're more like one of those gigantic fireman hoses. So there's a huge amount of, like, hose material there, and you've got a big crank, and you can turn that stuff on full blast, or you can turn it on a little bit, you know. But the idea of what I see for you, of what you're looking for a partner, is really someone, you know, who can actually help you to hone it in doing that. So so what I see for you is that you're resistant, because we drew it reversed here. So you're resistant to actually being contained, to going to smoother waters, and to allowing, really allowing your own masculine to stand up, or to allowing a masculine force in your life to actually hold and contain you. Because I see that you're willing to be held a little bit, but you don't actually really want to be contained at this moment. So that becomes your inner work to be able to turn the card right side up, is twofold what I see here, which is basically deciding, you know, can it get any easier than this? Like, am I willing to let it be easy? You know, if I'm willing to let it be easy, if I'm willing to let, you know, to take myself and my little inner child and actually go forward into a smoother waters, you know, with love. The 6 is all about love. And so it's like, you can do this in a really kind, loving way. You can do it in a really kind, loving way, or you can do it really choppy. And so right now you're allowing it to be really choppy, which, you know, can be smooth. It can be a lot smoother if you actually want it, you know. And so but it really comes down to, you can do it the hard way, you know, which is the way that you're used to, or you can do it in a little bit easier way and really just decide how you actually want it to look, and allow that masculine, especially the masculine on your inside, to stand up for you. But you can also allow the masculine on the outside, the men around you, and the ones that want to be in relationship with you, in whatever the way they want to be in relationship with you, just allow them to stand up for you, you know, and stand up for you and your own potency. So that's my reading that I have for you. And if you have anything that you want to say in the comments now that we can, before we close your reading, I just want to tap into that. So yeah, allowing yourself to be contained in a way that feels really good. The fire hose, when it's actually, fire hose is on its purpose when you're actually using it. It's really pointing, it's really pointing there. And just think about all those hot, sexy firemen who actually get to to be in charge of the fire hose. So, okay, anything that you have on there, Ashley, that you want to add in there? Yeah, and I see Jen is saying, wow, I can really relate to Ashley's reading. That's good, Jen, because that is, that really, when we set the intention of whoever shows up for these readings, like all of the readings are meant for each other. It's like you're going to get something from someone else's reading, even if it's not yours. That's my intention for this, is to make sure that every person that gets it can get a little piece even from the other people. So. Okay, awesome. So Ashley feels complete. So we'll go ahead and just release her energy. And if the next person, if Jen or Jenny, I saw Jenny came in. So hi, Jenny. So if you guys want to put your question or whatever questions that you have in there, we'll go ahead and read them. So, okay, I'm going to send at least Ashley from my field, sending her back. Her energy feels so sweet to me. So thank you. Thank you for letting me read for you. We send it back with love. We always send people back better than they came. That's always my intention. And just let these readings unfold in you and you make your choices. You don't have to effort on these, and that's the beauty of it, is not having to effort anyway with any of these readings or with any of the information. You don't have to effort. You just let it come in. So, okay. Good. So who's next? Who would like to have a reading next? I'm going to scroll down and see if I missed anything in the comments. Okay, so I know we have both Jen and Jenny here. So if either one of you wants to put in for a reading, I can do that. If not, we will do one for the group together. But I'll wait a few minutes. Okay, good. I have Jen's question here. Okay. So I read Jen's question and it says, my question here is about the chaos I'm feeling, particularly with my business. And now there's a guy in my life who's been interested in me for a while. Okay, so what's your, Jen, if you have a moment here, I know it's a bit of a delay here, but what's your actual question? So, I mean, what about, are you just curious about the actual chaos, or like, what would you like to know? I know this is the kind of the tricky thing with tarot, is that forming a question is actually one of the most important parts, because then the guides can actually help you if you actually tell them what you really want to know. So it's like it's a lesson in asking for exactly what you want. Okay, and she said, we've started seeing one another and we're taking it slowly, which feels right and new for me. And I'm hoping to feel more supported. Hoping to feel more supported, which will give me balance. Okay. Okay, so the question I'm going to do for you here, unless you have something directly, which is basically, you say chaos I'm feeling in my business. It sounds like you're more interested in learning a little bit about this guy and kind of how he's related to what you're already creating. So I'm going to ask the question about, what does Jen need to know about the new energy that's coming into her life versus the new energy versus the energy that's already growing in her business. So new energy, man, and okay. Okay, great. So she said, how can I settle settle into my business and life with more ease and grace? Perfect. All right. So this is a perfect card for you. So I pulled the High Priestess reversed. So, so right side up, this is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is all about like full on intuition, the women's wisdom, you know, the like living by the cycles of the moon, and the full balance and being like what I considered like a sovereign woman. So a sovereign woman, and really just being the priestess energy, which is almost like untouchable, uncontainable, you know, holdable energy. But you drew it reversed here. So which means that you're resisting that natural wisdom and intuition that comes with really being a sovereign woman, the woman that can hold her own. You know, when you think about like the virgin woman, a virgin doesn't really, you know, back in the old days, it didn't mean someone who didn't have sex, you know, like that was part of it, but like the virgin woman is actually the one that's close to God. So she's the one that, you know, is directly close to God and has a direct connection to God and to her guides and to her wisdom. And she holds her energy sacred to her, you know, so she holds it and she only allows certain people into her particular energy. And so that's the sovereignty that I'm talking about of the priestess, is that like she has all the wisdom already in her. She can see the duality between the black and the white. And she also allows, you know, she allows it to be able to, allows herself to sit in the center of it. She's not affected by the stuff that comes up in her. Now, since you pulled it reversed, that means you're resisting that. You know, and it's not to make you wrong or bad by saying, oh, I'm resisting this. It's like, wow, this is a totally new way to do this, like, which is like holding my own, you know, holding my own as a priestess, as someone who walks in the land with wisdom, and not allowing the world to affect me in a way. And so I know, Jen, you're a really sensitive being. And so and what I see from you is that like, you know, your solid rooted treeness that you could be, you've actually allowed yourself to just be like taken. I'm seeing like kind of a almost like a like Harry Potter whomping willow kind of thing, which is the idea that you're trying to stand in your center, but anyone that gets near you, you hit them because you think they're going to hurt you. And that's like, and that's the sovereignty part of it, is you standing in there and knowing that the person can't hurt you because you have everything that you're already holding. So that like you don't need to actually whack people to get them out of your energy. You know, you're not as sensitive. Let me just put it here. I was going to say you're not as sensitive as you think you are. Owned your sensitivity as being this tremendous gift that people spend a whole entire lifetimes or multiple lifetimes trying to gather, is to get the amount of sensitivity that you have in your tiny little finger. And so you have a tremendous gift of sensitivity, and that makes you really potent in the world. But the way that I see it is that you kind of whack people away from you, or opportunities or anything that comes to you, because you haven't owned the fact that like they can't hurt you. You know, you're the one that's in choice here. Like you have the power, you have all the power, you have all the wisdom, and I'm seeing it kind of clenched like ropes inside your belly and inside your womb and genitals and all those areas kind of clenched up in a way that because you're afraid it's going to be taken from you. And I want to assure you the fact that you can't take what's in you. Like you, my friend, are a potent being who has a lot to give. And the way to be able to give it is to relax. And to relax and let it out there. You don't have to be on constant vigilance, or whacking away any opportunities that feel like they could be chaotic or could be, you know, that could be what you would normally consider threatening. And that's really about developing. What I see for you to be able to turn the card right side up is to really develop this like knowledge on the inside that nothing can be taken from you. And I think we all need that one right now, because that's feeling really potent as I'm saying it, that nothing can be taken from you. Yeah. And anything that's in the past that looks like it's been appearance to do that has all been there to teach you how much you have on the inside. So nothing can be taken from you. You actually hold the wisdom of the deep priestesses and the wisdom keepers and the like virginal people on the inside. And so when you hold on to that particular pole, the feminine pole, like it's grounded, it's deep, it works with the cycles of the moon. It's really about connecting in on a place that allows you to really open. And then, you know, your business or this new partnership or anything that comes through you, it won't feel so overwhelming, and you won't have to whack it away, because it's really gonna, like, you're gonna bring it into the field the way that a priestess does, which is basically when I see for a priestess, and this is my own vision here that you can choose to take on or not, which is basically they are the ones that are in the temple and they hold the space of the temple, and they set the space up in the way it is. And then they allow the men or the opportunities or whatever it is that they want to come into their life, they invite them into the safe space that they've created and that they hold. And the men and the opportunities come in to be able to experience the priestess. And then when the priestess is complete, just like we do with these readings, when we're complete, we send the energy back. Thank you for being in my field, and I send your energy back. But you're in total sovereign choice of all of this. And so knowing that you're not at effect from the men or from your business or from the opportunities, you're totally in charge of this. And it's not the in charge clenching, it's the full wisdom priestess part, which is that you open. So if you feel yourself tightening, just really do the let that like deep breath come out. And if you do, it comes up, the priestess is also the one that has the boundaries, which is just without smacking someone, you just can say, you know, I'm complete right now. Thank you so much for your time. So you can really allow it to come, and whatever it is for your business, for your clients, for a partnership or anything, you can just say, okay, I'm complete. You know, thank you so much. And then you go and you take care of your own energy and allow your guides to help you on that. Okay. Okay. Anything else for you, Miss Jen? If you have anything else, put it in the comment. And I want to say, if Jenny, I see you're here too. If you want to, I know we have a bit of a delay, so if you'd like a reading, go ahead and pop your question in, and I'll do any follow-up with Jen too. Okay. So if Jenny would like a reading, we will do that. So I'm just going to wait here for a minute. I know there's a bit of a delay on the actual broadcast, so just sit here and look at my cool thing in the background. And if Jenny doesn't want to have her own personal reading, then we'll just do a reading for the group. Okay. Awesome. All right. So Jenny says, I've had all that I've needed to grow my business online for a couple of years, and I've held myself back. Ever since I've left spiritual school, I feel like I've been operating at half power. How can I get past this and be released to move forward and fully share my gifts? Okay, beautiful. So I'm gonna invite that question in. I want to make sure that I send Jen's energy back too. Thank you. Yeah, she already left, but let's just make sure we consciously put that. Okay, so we invite Jenny in. Yeah, this is a big one. I can feel that. Thank you for your vulnerability, for everybody's vulnerability today on the call, because it allows me to really read in a way that feels really authentic. So clear. All right. So for Jenny, how can I get past this, be released to move forward and fully share my gifts? Ooh. So before I even pull a card here, Jenny, I'm getting a little like pinch right in my third eye. That means to me that there's a there's a lot of, when I called your energy in here, there's a lot of blocks to allowing your vision to open as fully as you know it can open for you. So let me just teach you before we read the card here a little trip that my teacher Beatrix has, which is to open the third eye. You take your finger and you put it in between where your thing is, and you do this, which is kind of silly, but it goes woo, 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 woo. And you do that until the energy doesn't feel so coagulated. So it doesn't feel stuck in seeing that vision. And making sure that before you open your third eye, you actually, you call in that sacred space. You really allow your guides to call what I consider the big guns in, call in your big guides, the helpers, to really hold your space, because you actually do hold a fairly high sacred priestess, energy as well, whether you use that word or not, like it's that deep, deep feminine wisdom. And so if you open your third eye when you don't have a container open or a container closed, protective space around it, this is the area of fears and phobias as well. And so your big vision can actually be can end up being focused using the how to say it, like the third eye, which can usually be your vision, will end up being your fears and phobias, and the things in there if you're not really keeping the space open and clear and allowing your big helpers to come in. Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. I feel like I needed that piece before we actually did that, because I don't normally feel this pinching and clenching in my third eye. So I knew that one was for you, or for anyone else on the call that also has a really big vision to give to the world, allowing that to open up. Okay, so release and move forward to fully share my gifts. So we're using the tarot. Excellent. Okay. Awesome. So I pulled the Page of Swords reversed. Okay. And so when we have the Page of Swords right side up, the page is actually new thought, so because the swords are about thoughts and allowing new thoughts to come in, and allowing yourself to really be a beginner with the mind. Now, Good. So I do see your comment that it makes me want to cry, and it's okay. Your emotions are welcome here. And we do have a big safe container right now that if anything comes through and releases, just know that you're held. Yeah. Good. So yeah, we're going to do the reading here, and then we're going to open that up. And I see you say, I miss reading so much. Good. Hey, maybe we should collaborate. This could be fun together. So awesome. So we get back to your card here. So it's the Page of Swords. So, and you pulled it reversed, which means that you're actually resisting this, resisting actually having this new mindset. Now, when the page is up there, like the page is all about, new possibilities. And it's about like this, what I see is like this teenage juvenile energy, but it's a playful juvenile energy. It's not about like, it's not about like, oh, you're being like a little kid about this, but like how much fun can you have doing that? Like I have a lot of fun this morning. This morning I was so tired, and I thought, well, this is not going to be turned on tarot. This is going to be tired tarot. And, but to be able to sit and read and to call everyone's energy in is really to the point where like to me, that's where I get out of the way. I get out of the way of my own thinking, my own thoughts, my own tiredness, and just allow this new thought to come through. And so for me, it's about being a channel, and I can see how important that to you could create something really magical, is if you could allow yourself to have these new thoughts, and the way, and you are, a mistress of thoughts. You are someone who understands thoughts and realities and new ways to be able to connect in with people in a way that other people have, have spent lifetimes trying to figure out how to do. And you already know how to do that really well. and you're really trained in different things. And this card is actually saying, because you're resisting it, you're actually resisting the really fun parts of having this. And so when you're talking about like how to move forward with your business, is that I would say follow the lightness, follow the things that are fun, and find playmates. You know, as a teenager, you might have had some times as a teenager where you might have been lonely, and I know I had that as well. But one of the things that I really loved as being a teenager was really the fact that they were just like built-in playmates. You know, high school was built-in playmates. There are just a ton of people around here who just wanted to kind of rebel against the man, and we got the people that are conforming, and we've got like, you know, if you were like me at all, I could move into any circle and connect with some people, even though, you know, maybe not quite the cool kids, but a little bit. There was just a way that like that you could be fluid to go into all these different thought things. All you had to do was find the actual whatever connection point it was. And so there's a built-in playmate part of it that I see that could really help your business, which is to allow, you know, yourself to have the new thoughts, for you to bring in something new to your business without it feeling like it's going to uproot everything you've already done. You know, it's not about that. It's just like, it could be something as simple as what I'm doing, which is like just doing a reading, you know, or reading for someone via, you know, the internet, or doing something on Facebook or something where like it doesn't have to be the whole thing of your business. You know, and like many of you know from this thing, like the tarot is not, you know, it's not my full-time business. Like I do some things. I do some astrology readings. I'm an artist. I do the tech for the back, you know, things. It's like I do so many things. I'm a life coach and sexuality. Like, I mean, it's like I have all of these pieces and parts that make up who I am. And I'm allowing those to be expressed on how they want to show up, you know, which is, to me, no matter how they come, it's going to be the gift. So that's what I offer to you here with this, to be able to turn this card right side up, is to really follow the lightness and know that, like, if you want to be able to do readings or do something like that, just make an offering. Make an offering, see who shows up, see how they want to play, you know, and knowing that, like, if you come from that beginner's mind, and you're at least going to have fun, and as long as you have fun, like, the people around you are going to get a gift. Because if all they see is this beautiful, powerful businesswoman who's willing to, like, every once in a while just be like, hey, guess what, we're going to do this. Like, they're going to say, wow, look, she can really follow the energy and follow the lightness. And so what I see for that is really you know, the way to incorporate this, you know, like I said, it's just to make a really light offering and not make it be a big deal, you know, and not like make it where it's like, well, and this is the next thing, I need to make my website and I need to like put it in there. No, just like add it in to something really easy. Like, even if you had it where you just open a Google Hangout on air and just invite a handful of people on there and just see who wants to play, you know. And what I got to when I looked at this card, and I'll close with you here, is that, like, is I saw these red boots here when I first looked at it, which is basically the feet are all about understanding, like under you standing, and the red is passion. So it's like as you allow yourself to have this passion, you know, and the understanding and be understood, and allow yourself to have this new thought, it's really going to turn around. Like, it's really, and it's also the feet on the ground, knowing that you're just going to, like, you're going to take the next step. And that's the thing about you, is like, I don't see you as someone that's going to like just sit at home and cry about, you know, like why their business is not moving forward. You're going to take the next step. The only thing is that you're used to having the steps be very linear and like actually make sense. And what I see for the business for you, especially around these like readings and how to like bring your psychic gifts and all those things out more, is really allowing the passion, the passion that you have, to really inform each step and allow it to really move forward. So, okay. Anything else that we have for you, Jenny? So thank you. You said, I like that. She wrote, you inspire me. And no fun at all. No, we don't want to have no fun. There's, yeah, like I said, it's if all it comes down to is just having a chat with some people via webinar, why not? Like, to me, this is a fun thing to do on a Tuesday morning, and it gives me more energy. So hopefully for you, You can find whatever is your version of it and allow yourself to be a novice at it, even if it's something that you don't see yourself as being good at, or it's something that you used to be good at in the past. Like I said in my story, if you didn't hear it when I came in here, I've been reading tarot since I was 16, you know, and I used to draw them and just all these things. It's like, it was something that kind of, you know, so now I've got, let me tell my age, I've got 22 years of tarot experience, you know, and like, yet, you know, I still feel like a novice sometimes. So it's like, you know, I see these amazing tarot readers and all I do is just call in the energy. So good. So it looks like, so she said, yay, I'm going to set up a psychic hangout. Woo! I can tell you some other people that have that too. So we have a lot of fun. We can collaborate. You don't have to do it alone. Find some peers. Find some people who want to play, who have their people to come in. So that's it. I'm going to do, there's only a few minutes left here. So I'm going to do just a quick, I'm going to send energy back from Jenny. Good. And we're going to want to close the container here, but I do want to do a quick one card reading for anyone that shows up here that did not get a chance to read, that really wanted something today. So, okay, great. So I pulled for the group, which is the Two of Swords, which is all about balance. And it's also about, you know, what my teacher calls the windshield wipers of the mind, that if you are allowing yourself to move between two thoughts, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? You're going to keep going. You're just going to keep moving back and forth, windshield wiper, windshield wiper. But if you look here, this woman here has a blindfold on. And so this is the card of like blind faith, which is the fact that if you want to move forward, all you do is really just follow that intuition, follow the guide, follow what we call like follow at the whisper. Like if you follow something, if you follow your own guide at the whisper level, when it just whispers, do this, then you're going to follow that whisper. It'll take you out of this, you know, the vacillation of the windshield wipers of the mind. You can just follow at a whisper. And I see again the moon in there, you know, and this card is the number 2, so it's also connected to the High Priestess again. That you allow that blind faith, allow yourself to not see where you're going, and allow it to go ahead and just, I'm going to blindly follow that whisper I heard on my insides. No one else heard it. I heard it myself. And then just allow it to inform your own energy and move forward. So that's the card that we have for everyone who's made it this far into the video or has, you know, has come in later and wants that energy. So anyone that taps into it now. So, okay. So we are complete. Thank you all for showing up for my Turned On Tarot. And I'm going to have this again next week. My intention is to have it at least for the next 8 weeks, every week at Tuesday at 10 a.m. so that we're really going to kind of build a community, but also just allowing ourselves to take a time to drop in, get some inspiration, and then move forward. You know, so it's like, if you feel complete by what you have here, that's awesome. Take it in. You know, if you want to come back next week, I'm happy to do that. If you want to refer some people to me, that would be amazing. I would love to have that. And so I'm going to go ahead and close the container. So we just say thank you to all the guides. It's like everybody has a big old group hug. And allowing ourselves to continue to, you know, to take our own energy back, to feel more sovereign and whole, to really be the beauty and the wisdom keepers that we already are. So, yeah, good. And so we released everyone as if into the field, you know, out of the field, and we just, like in the, they say the circle is open but not broken, which is basically that, like, we open up for everybody to take and move out of the field here and go on with their day feeling more charged up and turned on. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.